I'm proud of how much of a good mum I am to Lily. I've raised her on my own from day one, and I think that's a struggle for anyone at any age raising a child on their own, but especially with what I've gone through. As I gradually got older, mental health was more in the focus and the forefront of my mind. I'm a bullying survivor, an eating disorder survivor, I'm a domestic abuse survivor, I was a young carer, I was all this. But what I've learned about myself is I shouldn't be scared to share my story. In school, I think people picked up, especially if your life is different, that you're an easy target for bullying and things. My dad suffers from psychosis and depression, and he got diagnosed when I was around 2 years of age, so a lot of my really early years of childhood was spent going to the inpatient wards and visiting him, and I wasn't aware that it was different for everyone else. I wasn't aware that they didn't go through the things I went through. They didn't have to go to hospital and visit their dad. When I transitioned into young carer role, I think I struggled a lot, like realising I am a normal kid considered to my peers at school. So I think I struggled a lot to fit in. So it progressed especially in high school. I remember finding out like 9 months into year 7 that there'd been a hate page set up. A lot of the comments were like, oh, I wish she'd just kill herself, or oh, I wish she'd lose weight, she's so ugly. And not just online, it was physical. Like year 7, I got pushed down the tower block stairs and broke a few ribs, and the first thing the school said to my mum was, well, she's done something to deserve it. No child should be blamed for being bullied. I remember thinking at home, if the school doesn't believe me, my parents aren't going to believe me. Like, what's the point in me being here? Like, there's no point at all. Just someone listening without judgment is a massive thing, and it was a big thing for me that I didn't receive at the time. Like, if they'd have said, look, I believe you, I know what you're going through, I know that you're struggling with suicidal thoughts and self-harm, like, it'd have helped so much, and I think that's something everyone needs when they're getting bullied, just someone to listen. When I was younger, I had a lot of bad coping mechanisms. I think I intentionally went out the way to hurt myself as a coping mechanism because I believed that's what I deserved. Whereas I think once you start the recovery journey and that it's always up and down to how you deal with things. But if it's causing other thoughts about yourself and you don't think you are worthy and you are enough, and just knowing that fully and reminding yourself daily really does help. When I fell pregnant with Lily, my mum informed the school and I was pulled into the head of year's office, and he basically threatened that if I don't have an abortion I had to leave school that day. But I'd already decided by then that I wanted to keep my child. It was a struggle. Like, I became a young mum at 15 and I thought, I'll marry this person. That's not going to happen. 3 weeks later I was raising her on my own, and I have done ever since. For me, researching things and reading up and preparing myself mentally as much as possible helped me cope. But also being honest when I struggled, being honest to my family when I needed a bit of a break, that's what helped me most. I thought, like, I'll still do my education. I was adamant, and everyone was like, no, you won't. You'll drop out like they all do, and that's part of the stigma of being a young mother. I recently started my masters in September in health and wellbeing. As long as I'm in somewhere where I know I can make a difference, I feel like that's going to really help me on my own journey and help overall. Went viral after I tweeted about graduating with Lily, and that brought so many opportunities, from working with TV companies to doing radio and newspaper coverage. I shot a Mother's Day campaign with Asda with Lily, which was just an amazing experience that not many people get. So yeah, so a lot's been happening. So I think I joined MindMate about 3.5 years ago. It's an under 25s mental health website, and when I saw the advert it said, do you have lived experience? Do you want to use this to create change? Fighting for under 25 to give them real representation on this website and show them where all the support is. And it was something that I was anxious about signing up for, but it's helped build my confidence in the sense that the world is my oyster a bit, and I think MindMate gave me that platform and that courage to pursue them goals. And I've also been involved within maternity services for young mums, which was a weird experience, going in there and seeing people who helped me along my journey and sitting at the same table as them. And I think one thing with MindMate, they really show you how welcomed you are and how much they need your voice. I'm proud of the person I am today and the things I have overcome. I've been a young carer, a young parent, someone who's suffering bullying. But most importantly, I'm proud of the 11-year-old girl I was and the 14-year-old girl I was. And even though she wouldn't have been proud of who she was and shunned away from anything like that, I feel power in knowing that I am now proud of who I was every step of the way.